what do you call this, a YouTube or something? Well, thank God I'm enjoying this, Dan. Welcome everybody to Lucas E. Allen's YouTube format upload on YouTube, obviously. Yeah, we're gonna be starting YouTube today. Be exclusive stuff to YouTube, some stuff to YouTube. I'm going with my Spreakers, my podcast super platform, as well as Patreon as well. So I'll combine all three of half my podcasts. But this is be a full-fledged video. The first ever Lucas Allen YouTube video. Who would have thought that'd be happening, boys and girls? Certainly not me, to say the least. Oh man. Glad to be doing this. I'm glad to be doing this big time, boys and girls. Should be interesting. I'm not great at live streaming on YouTube, but I'm not gonna be up doing any live streams anytime soon, obviously. But like I said, I mean, a lot of full-fledged videos, maybe some podcasts. You never know with me. You never know with me at all. Well, let's get to this videos format though. It's like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes at tops, basically. Types of videos, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, something like that to say the least. But I want to start YouTube. I want to be starting with full-fledged content creating on YouTube. It's obviously an audio flat format, but my own version to get this audio to publish to YouTube. Obviously, I have my own version to do this. So I did my research long before I even studied what I thought I'd be doing this, to say the least. It's been going on a little bit longer, to say the least, in all honesty. This is your video. And so today's title of the video. There's not another dedicated to my girl, the biggest inspiration in my life, and making content creating in general. Mercedes Mone, Mercedes Fernando, Sasha Banks. We don't want to name this woman. She is the reason I made the podcast to begin with, No Limits to Lucas. I'm basically doing content creating in general. So this is being dedicated to her, this very first upload for No Limits to Lucas Allen's YouTube account for February 13, 2025. I can't wait to do this. I've been wanting to do this so much recently, dude. And the first video is not going to be dedicated to Mercedes. That's the very first one I wanted to be first of. So think of her highly, dude. I think of her highly. So today we're going to go over my past moments and my favorite moments of Mercedes and Fernando in general. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Mone, you name it, dude. And also, how much she means to me in the content created for me. She may not be a content creator. She's obviously a professional wrestler, but she gives me big-time inspiration to do my podcast, content creating in general. So we're going to go over on today's very upload. As always, thank you all for watching. Maybe as always, let's get on today's video starting right now. Before I start, I want to make perfectly clear, if you're not a fan of Mercedes Mone, but you're a fan of my podcast, shout out to you, dude. All these freaking times, if you've been seeing me obviously talk praise Mercedes and how much I love Mercedes, how much I adore her, shout out to freaking you, dude. But still, you take a lot of crap from me about loving Mercedes so much, this is probably to say the least. But anyway, it's time for your upload. To go back into the upload in all honesty. Mercedes, where do I start, honestly? Where do I freaking start this girl? She's my biggest inspiration of content creating. I love her to death for that. And I know it, trust me. Trust me. You're like, oh, Lucas, you turned your fan card in August. Oh, dumbass. Everyone can change their mind whenever. I always said in that upload. I always send an upload for August 7, 2025 edition, AW 2025, 2024 edition of Dynamite. And honestly, I said this. She's always welcome. I always wanted my fan card back. I didn't want to give up to begin with. I really didn't. But at that time, it was just an umpteenth low for me, a Mercedes fan. But now, as I've been getting my fan card back on December 23rd, 2024, I have my fan card offer. Throughout the time, but maybe not all the time, maybe late November to early December when I wanted to do it. It got probably good old days of Sasha Banks. I can't refute that. So yeah, I did that. She's back in my heart, dude, and I feel so great. It's very great. August as of December 23rd. It felt so good to get her back in my favoritism in my freaking life, to say at least, for a celebrity crush or celebrity wrestler, you name it, dude. I've always loved her. I've always loved her. Even when I turned in a den, it means I never still had no appreciation from her. I never did. I always did. I will always will for her. Because she's brought me up to the biggest low point in my life in 2016. When me and freaking somebody to idolize so much. Well, I mean, male idolizer to begin with, but that in general, I still didn't get it. So why not get to another female other than my mother? And lo and behold, I found Mercedes Mone. That's the story. She's been making me cry out of sadness and happiness. She's always had. The sadness is when it gets it all over with, too. It gets over it big time. But, man, I'm always going to love this woman to death. Always going to have appreciation for all she's done for my life. And I think she inspired me big time to create this podcast. If it wasn't for her, you probably will never see a podcast. No, Mr. Lucas, never see a podcast in general from me. Or Lucas Sound on Twitter and Instagram. Not TikTok anymore. That's not gone, but you get the point. Facebook. And also, obviously, YouTube now. And Patreon as well. I can't forget Patreon as well either. This woman means the freaking world to me. She means the world to me, dude. You don't like it? I don't give a flying hell about you. If you don't like it, but if you obviously like you're not a fan of Mercedes, but you're a fan of my podcast, then it's fine. That's perfectly fine, dude. All opinionize of opinions so much. I want to take constructive criticism, great podcast, and everything else. And I'm much looking forward to you very, very taking my loveness towards Mercedes, and you're not a fan of Mercedes. That's all perfectly fine with me. 1,000% perfectly fine. But man, Mercedes, she means the world to me. She really does. Is there times where I don't agree with her on things? Absolutely. I'd be the first one to tell you that. Literally, I'm always a podcaster and always be a fan at the same time. I always said that about people and people I love. People I love dearly gets my mom see more of it. I think the highly of them, like Mercedes, Bailey, Bianca Belair, and women like that. And a lot of people in general, for men's side things, Aaron Rodgers, who just get to him in a minute. Maybe in a different upload, actually. We got Aaron Rodgers recently because obviously he's not going to go back to the Jets to start quarterback, but that's a conversation for another day. But man, I just love Mercedes. You know that, dude. You all know that, bro. Bros and gals, you all know that. Mercedes just means the absolute freaking world to me. I thank her so much for everything she's done for me. Would I being seen her once in my freaking life? I never seen this woman in life. I meant to get actually a live event once or twice. And I saw her there in WWE and everything, but that's about it. That's not bad. It's basically about it, to say the least. But you obviously can inspire people by actually being there in person. People do realize that, right? It's obviously true. I've gotten to realize that over the years with Mercedes and everything. So I feel if she's done a lot for me. Without actually being there for me in general. She's done a lot of the things for my life and everything. I can't thank her enough. That's forever will be my first girl. Obviously number 2, that is Miley Cyrus, obviously. But Mercedes, I'll be number 1. That woman just makes me happy. She really does. She really does. Seeing her wrestle most of the time, it's obviously a gem. It's obviously, you can't get any better than that. Obviously, the promos, now people can take it or leave it, obviously, but you get the point. Mercedes Mone will forever be in my first place in my heart, honestly, not in my family and everything. I love her to death. I love her to death big time, man. That's how much I love Mercedes. And Mercedes is just, you don't want to know. You don't, it's like a freaking thing you don't want to know. I love her so much. I'm about to cry now when I think about it, dude. I'm about to freaking cry, bro. She's my biggest inspiration making YouTube as of today, if you don't know about that. By far my biggest inspiration make YouTube as of today, and doing this first ever video dedicated to her. She's much deserved for this one, from me and everything else. She heard wind outside my house, I deeply apologize about that. But that's your upload. That's your upload for today. That's only 9-10 minutes long. That's what I want it to be, actually. I want to be minimum 7 minutes to 20 minutes maximum. That's what I do. So that's YouTube supposed to be, right? That's what I've been told over the years, We had Mom before. I was a content creator, obviously, and a podcaster in general. As for Mercedes, girl, continue doing your thing. Continue doing your thing, and F the frickin' haters. Remember, haters gonna hate. I'm gonna say there. Be so good they can't ignore you, as I started my No Limits Daily Show editions. Like one goes on the 31st of this January. When it's dedicated podcast towards Mercedes and her birthday, so it was 5 days late, so I had no freaking internet to do it on a Sunday. That week, obviously. But Mercedes, girl, thank you so much for everything you do. And thank you for being my biggest inspiration, being content creating in general. And you are forever be in my heart for that. You are an insane person, to say the least. And it's obviously a great thing. It's obviously a great thing in general. And that's your upload, boys and girls. To Mercedes, for one last time, shout out to Mercedes. Thank you, Sadie's. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Sadie's. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Sadie's. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why I said dun, 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 dun. You get the point, people. You get the freaking point. Until next time, it definitely will be a next time, boys and girls. Peace and love, everybody. I am out, and take care. And to help y'all enjoy his first ever upload on Twitter. Hope you enjoy his first ever upload on YouTube, Mercedes Mone edition. Take care, everyone.